Aloha, everyone. What a very interesting week it was. It was about time, but the IWM finally broke out, and I know it's lagging. And I know that the breakout that everybody was super bullish on in 2021 was with the relative strength line moving lower, and then you had a breakout, so everybody got excited. But I was like, yeah, the relative strength line's really weak. Well, it's even weaker now. So why do I like this breakout better? Because it's different. There hasn't already been a long uptrend before, during QE, right before QT. We are in the opposite scenario where we've been in a long uptrend, but under QT conditions. It looks like we're switching to QE conditions, so I am actually bullish on this breakout. That being said, it's too much, too soon. I expect a pullback. You saw the reversal today, the big wick, the heavy volume, 2 days, beautiful. Weekly chart, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful, beautiful consolidation pattern. I love the spike in the relative strength line. So these are all positives. If this was coming after a long uptrend in the SPY, QQQ, and now all of a sudden the IWM was breaking out, but we were deep into a QE market where the only direction that interest rates looked like that they were going to go was hiking, it'd be a different story. We're flipped this time from late 2021 to what we're seeing now. It's the exact opposite environment when it comes to interest rates. So that's why I'm more bullish on this one, but I do expect a pullback. The IWO, same thing. Looks great, but I do expect a pullback. But I love that jump in the relative strength line. IWN, the value stocks, same thing. Love a jump in that relative strength line. RSP, good to see it moving higher. Love the jump in that relative strength line. QQEW, not seeing much there, but it is more technology related. RSP, IWM, more. Is SMLX? Nope, doesn't exist anymore. SMLX, nope. SML, maybe just one and then an X. Nope. Okay. So either way, it's looking great for the small and mid caps. I like what I'm seeing. On that note, the IBD 50, that relative strength line is still a little weak. ARC, hey, it's working, right? It's working. It's not great yet, but we got to curl off the lows. We're above the 250. So there's more positives than negative. But like I said, short term, we're extended. And that's why it's so crazy, because this continues to be a feast or famine market due to this bifurcation and rotation. Without normal and to be expected pullbacks, which we haven't seen since last year, August, September, October. We had this pullback here, but in my opinion, that's not deep enough to really separate leaders from laggards. So for now, the semiconductor names still are leaders to me until they're not. Until I see the IGV and the SMH change and maybe these home builders start popping up, they're still currently the real leaders to me. So without normal and to be expected pullbacks, I can't right now differentiate the mid-cap leaders from the laggards. What I do like to look at is cancel quality, sales growth, earnings growth. I just like quality. So on that note, because of the feast or famine nature of this market, I had a bunch of long signals yesterday. I told everybody all of the cash on hand in my swing trading account, whatever remains, all of it gets to work, spread equally amongst every name but APEI. I increased size on, doubled that up. Notice though today didn't move higher. So what am I doing? I'm immediately taking action. I'm selling off some at the market on Monday morning and putting one stop here, one stop here, one stop here, and my final stop is right here. But I increased size on APEI. I expected it to work immediately. What does work immediately look like? Well, CRBP. You can see where the white arrow is. That was our initial long signal, but you can see it didn't do a whole lot. Then we finally got that beautiful bop in volume spike with the pocket pivot point signal off the 50 SMA. A guarantee that it's going to work, not without the IWM leading, and it wasn't back then. So I couldn't load into this signal. You give me this signal today with how the IWM now looks, we definitely take much larger size. And as you can see, it's been working perfectly since our ad signal, up 30% in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. Another example of something that we like to see, VIRC. This was that volume truncation with the max green bop day. Find support right at the 50 SMA. This was our, so I have a long signal above this high day here that didn't trigger in, but this was, let's get size. Got involved yesterday when it triggered and filled, and now I'm fully in VIRC. It is working. And since it's working, but because of the nature of this market, I am going to be selling some at the market with a stop here, and a final stop here. But in 2 days, got size in this name, 11% gain. How has the SPY done in the past 2 days? Compare that 11% gain to a negative 0.24% return. Let's do CRBP. Compare CRBP's 30% gain since 628 to the SPY's, to the SPY's 2% gain. So we're starting to see what we want to see. But unfortunately, this evening for everyone, I don't have any new long signals for you. I only have one actionable long signal, and it is in a stock that averages only 10,000 shares per day. That is not enough for me to recommend to anybody unless you're a platinum member of our service. Then, of course, obviously, I post that in the speculative watch list page. But it did bounce off the 200. It has a volume and BOP surge. They beat on the top and bottom line in the most recent quarter. Earnings per share in the most recent quarter, 57% gain as well. Sales growth, 96%. So I like it a lot, but it's kind of in the middle of no man's land between support resistance, and it only averages 10,000 shares per day. So that's why I don't have any new long signals for anybody in this video lesson. But if you're a member, you know that we've had quite a few the past week, and it appears that it was all in anticipation of that IWM move. But what I do want to review is there any stock that I didn't get long that I got a signal on that I regret? I don't regret it. I just didn't get my setup. So on this day, HNST, this was part of that Russell reconstitution day where I got a bunch of signals and the vast majority are working. I really like this HNST setup, but with that volume surge, that wick, since we didn't take out the previous day's high with that wick on a downtrending 50 SMA, I decided not to get long because it was extended from even the 5-day simple moving average. But just trying to talk out loud why I didn't get long HNST and what I'm now looking for. So looked like that was a good move, right? The very next day, big pullback, another bounce higher. And then on this day, I didn't get long once again because it is a downtrending 50 SMA. Should I have gotten long? Yeah, in perfect hindsight, absolutely. It was finally above the 5 SMA, still extended from the 10, not a deal breaker. I just didn't get long because the 50 SMA was downtrending. If this day right here happens like on this bar, I take it long. But because it happened, quote, quote, up here, extended from the lows, I did not. It's been working ever since. Yesterday, I got a pocket pivot point signal. Why didn't I get long the pocket pivot point signal yesterday? Because it looks and appears too extended for me. The 50 SMA is still downtrending. That being said, like I said, I don't regret not getting long on this day. Would have been shaken out of most of it, up 10%. I don't regret not chasing it this day. So this is what I'm now looking for. Hopefully it can do a low volume pullback towards now the rising 50 SMA, hold that max green bop, and I can get long. So here is one stock that I wish I would have gotten long that I didn't get long. That looks really nice to me in the short term. Looking for a pullback and hopefully a buyable, actionable signal off the 50 SMA. I then also wanted to review another stock because a lot of these are not giving me, let's say, buy signals here. They're breaking out and then they're just too extended. I can't chase this one. But what I want to let everybody know is that I focus on higher quality stocks, and this is definitely a higher quality stock. Look at the price of it, that have sales growth over 25%. APPF, I believe, has sales growth of 38%. They also beat on the top and bottom line, which caused this little gap up back here, which I always love. But more importantly, APPF has a 99 composite. I bring all this up because we're now in a market environment that you can definitely start setting buy stops above the recent pivot. So with APPF, look at this long consolidation. You can see this green line. This was drawn before I made the video lesson. And you can see that it keeps rejecting at this green downtrend line. While this is happening, APPF has a 99 or a 98 composite rating. They beat on the top and bottom line in their most recent earnings quarter. Very high quality Cancelam stock, hence the 99-98 composite rating, and sales growth over 35%. But more importantly, while it's consolidating, how do you know when to put the buy stop on? Well, as you get back to here, you want to go into your weekly chart and you will see it's in a squeeze. Red dots. I have green, money, shaking money flow. I'm green on TSV. I'm not green on MACD, but I don't necessarily need to be when I'm in a squeeze in a 98-99 composite stock with sales growth over 35%. That also beat on the top and bottom line. So I do not have a position in APPF, but should I have set a buy stop above this high? Absolutely. Did I? Absolutely not. What am I now looking for? Obviously, a pullback to this line, some kind of pocket pivot point signal or signal, get long, and then on this chart, we're using my day trading setup. That's why you see these stocks over here. That's from the movers on Friday. But if I would get long on this pullback, with the market now the way it is, with it also being extended, but now more bullish on the small cap, mid cap size, I'd have a final stop below this 50 EMA. But this is something you can do this weekend. Go through any stock that has a composite rating over 95, that has sales growth over 25, 30%. I like 30% personally. And if you see it setting up like this, you check the weekly chart. And if you're in a squeeze, set that buy stop. We're now in that market environment. All right, everyone. I'll see you back here on Monday if you're a member, next Friday if you're not.